Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Unplugged Live. Well, first of all, apologies for the technical issues we've been having recently. We've been trying to solve that out, but we're having here some issues with the platforms. But anyway, we're trying our best to come up live every Monday. And of course, well, thank you everybody that has been watching our Facebook Lives. So I'm waiting for my friends to join. Sergio should be on the way. Well, hopefully won't have technical issues for today. Good evening, Sergio. Can you hear
Good
me?
evening. Yep.
Hi, how are
Five
you?
by five, we're in the pipe.
Yeah, well, I just was here mentioning that we've been having a few issues and
Yeah.
hoping that we will be able to sort them out. But in the meantime, we will put our best into welcoming live every Monday. But it hasn't been easy. But
No,
let's
it
see.
hasn't.
So as you probably already have seen, I'm in a different location. So once again on the road, I've been posting on my page some things I've been doing. And I'm in a hotel in the heart of the Douro Valley, so Peso de Régua, a place that I think you might know a few things about. But it's been an interesting journey. So tomorrow we are heading to other places further inland, and it's a quite personalized tour that I designed a few months ago upon some requests. And this will bring a little bit the topic of today. A lot of people want to book experiences, want to book tours, but I feel, and I think you share the same opinion as me, I feel that there's a
Yeah.
big misconception about what is a tour, what should a tour be, what to expect from a tour. But first of all, people need to understand what kind of tours do exist. Okay, I do some very specific ones. A private personalized. I'm not into shared tours. I'm not into bus tours, big group tours, that kind of stuff. But in fact, people need before booking whatever, okay, to understand what are the differences in between tours and experiences. And I know you have some aspects to share about that. So I would like to hear your thoughts, and of course, then we will discuss here some of our ideas. So, uh,
Of course. So, good evening, everyone. Well, it feels good to be back. It feels like Lionel's cell phone is the only one that has a secret sauce to get us through on Facebook over
yeah,
here. Last week, Gabriel and I tried, and doesn't matter how much we tried, we were not able to get together for the live session.
yeah.
So,
Last week it was really impossible for me, but
yeah,
life
well,
is life.
it is
So
what it is. We're here today, and we're basically just touching base on the aspects that Gabriel and I were going to mention last week. Well, we're going to continue the conversation over here today. So, a week ago or so, a little over a week ago, I actually wrote a post, a Facebook post about the different types of tours because there are some misconceptions about what type of tour offers what, the price point, the possibility of customizing the experience or adjusting timings, etc., or locations. So people should be aware of how what are these different types of tours. And we're going to start off with probably the most affordable, but also the ones that offer least flexibility and even fewer, even less time with the guy that will be with you. And these are obviously going to be the group tours. So this is the basic standard of the meal. If you run of the mill tour, if you just want to go to a location and see what the location is all about, you don't care a whole lot about the explanations, if you're just there more for the sightseeing. If you are a solo traveler and you want to connect with other people, that's also a very good place to start finding like-minded travelers. And if budget is a concern, well, this is going to be an option. So we are basically moving from a scale which goes, I would say, on this end a scale that goes from affordable but less the least customizable one, and then on this end over here we're going to have the one that is more expensive, but it's actually going to be pretty much tailor-made. And so you have to play with this dial over here in the middle and see where you land in terms of the experience that you want to have, and what does the budget allow for your experience. Not all experiences are created the same. So we started off with the group tours. Then we move on to the semi-private. It's a smaller group, but it's still not going to be private. But it does offer a few perks of a private tour. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive, yes, but there's not going to be that advantage of the economics of scales like you have in a small group tour in sorry, group tours, because over there they are doing that by the bus basically, and when it's completely different to have 50, 60, 80 persons on a bus versus having just 4 or 5 persons in a vehicle, and they all share in common interests. Usually what I find is that a lot of people uh, who join on these semi-private tours, they actually have very aligned interests, and that's the reason why they reached out to me. And I'm guessing that it's going to be the same thing for you, Lionel. They reach
Hmm.
out to you because they have common interests, and I know that you don't do semi-private, but sometimes you do have groups of friends that come together and they all share those
Yeah.
same interests. So it ends up being the same. So it's a bit of a trade-off between having a flexible tour, but you also have a little bit more of a possibility of having more contact with people who are like-minded, and you're going to have quite a guide that is going to be quite a bit more attentive to you, to hear what you have to say, to hear about your interests, and maybe if the group, when the group is actually very cohesive and homogeneous, it's actually very easy to fine tune a little thing here and there. So this is the semi-private tours. I do offer semi-private tours, but I've been finding that for 2025, it's actually been I've been having more requests for private tours than I've been having for semi-private tours. So I feel like it's starting to gravitate a little bit more towards the private tours. Speaking of which, it's I would say the second to last type of tour that exists, because a private tour, okay, it's just going to be you and the guide in the car. Sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have private experiences at the locations that you'll be visiting. Like, for example, they're not going to close an entire cathedral just for you. They're not going to close an entire vineyard just for you. But at least for the portions of the drive, you're going to have a guide that is over there just not reaching out, but dedicated to you. And this is 100% attention dedicated just to you, to your group, to your party, and for people who want to create some memories. Well, it's an ideal type of tour. And then if you feel like something is happening in the middle of the tour, or if you want to fine tune it a little bit, because it's a private tour and because you have this, uh, you're in charge of the itinerary and of the timings, sort of within certain limits, obviously, but it's always possible to customize it a little bit. Let's say that there's a lunch that usually takes 2.5 hours. But if you're done with the lunch in an hour and a half to 2 hours, well, we could do something a little bit different, take you to a different location with those 30 minutes to spare. And that is going to add value to the experience. You're actually going to get more bang for your buck by booking a private tour. But again, this is my opinion. And
Let me
then
sorry. Let me just pick up one thing you said.
mhm,
Um, when people get private tours, and this happened to me, not so much now that I run the business, but in the past, working for agencies, whatever, they were buying a private tour. They were selling a private tour to some of their customers, and this sometimes happens when you have too many people involved. And the customers arrived to me, okay, as a guide, expecting everything to be private, okay. It doesn't mean that some aspects cannot be private, but of course they will have another cost. But some
mhm,
others, there are no ways to have it in private unless we are talking about, humongous sums of money, okay? I'm just going to give you an example. A boat ride in the Douro that you know very well. It is possible to get a private boat ride in a small boat for six, seven, eight people, but the price is totally different. So sometimes people think that everything is private, but everything that is a third party needs to be,
Yep.
in fact, well, assessed if it's going to be private or shared. So you touch that aspect, and I just wanted to reinforce this idea. So talking about the private tours, sometimes well, third-party things cannot be, well, exclusive because that's the way they run. Okay, please go on.
Yep. No, just to give an idea of what you're talking about, you give the example of the cruises, and I'm very familiar with that. I do offer the customers, my guests, the possibility to upgrade, but obviously there's this keyword which is upgrade
Mhm.
the
Exactly.
cruise for a private cruise. And to give an idea of the prices involved, just to have a small boat for a private tour costs at the very least 10 times more per person
Yeah, I know. I know
than
that.
what I pay for a
I know
regular
that.
cruise on the Door River. So yeah,
I know that.
it's a different ballpark, and we're not talking top of the line boat. We're talking the same boat that they would go on a group cruise, basically. But well, it's just going to be private. There's no boat upgrade or anything like that.
hmm
It's just having the boat for themselves. Sometimes I do have customers that do request that, so it's perfectly fine. It's an option, it's an alternative, and I'm happy to offer. And then for me, the final piece of the puzzle, the what I call the creme of la creme, or the gold medalist in terms of tour making, is actually custom tours. So there is this misconception that um, private equals custom. Not necessarily. I have seen people on other places, online, etc., saying that, oh, only private tours can be customized. I actually think that it's the other way around. Custom tours are always going to be private because they're custom. They're
Okay.
tailor-made to a specific person.
Yeah.
So a private tour uh, may be customized within certain parameters, but a custom tour is designed from the ground up. And this one actually involves quite a bit more work. And I had a few of those at the beginning, towards the end of September and at the beginning of October. And well, some of those tours, they actually brought me all the way down to the Algarve and then back to Porto, and then going to places where I was actually not very familiar with. And so it all starts when I have persons, the guests reaching out to me and saying, I would like to do this, this, and this. I have these interests. And so they give me this first feedback, and then I make a few suggestions. They do a little bit research on their end. They come back to me, and then we start fine-tuning the itinerary to see what is going to be possible and what's not going to be possible. Is it aligned with their itineraries? I can tell you that the customized tours that I delivered over the first 2 weeks of October, I had never done tours like that, and I don't think that I will ever do a tour like that, precisely because those are one of a kind experiences. The person's requested those things specifically. I give some suggestions, more aligned with their interests, but again, because it was custom tour, we also had an infinite amount of personalization because at these locations, well, we have A, B, C, and D alternatives. We can also do A, B, C at the second location, etc., etc. So yeah, custom. It's definitely going to be, there's going to be a premium on top of that, not only because of the work that is involved, of the tour itself that is involved, but also because of all of the preparation work that comes beforehand. So it takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of effort. Some of the locations I had never been to them, or I have been to them, but I have never explored them in the context of working a tour in those locations. And so I actually had to go back to the location like a clean slate and just knowing the history. Walking the streets, looking at the monuments, taking pictures, knowing the history, and started piecing together how am I going to deliver this in a cohesive and seamless experience. And this is what a lot of people don't see. I actually get a lot of compliments for my Douro Valley tours because people say that when they look at the time, it's like, okay, it's the day is 11 hours long. But at the end of the day, I have people more frequently than not tell me, the day was so seamless and it went by in such a way I didn't even notice that 11 hours went by. So that's a good compliment. It means that the tour is well paced, is well structured. There are some moments for activities, moments for relaxation. And so even though people at first you're like, oh, I'm going to be 11 hours out. No, those 11 hours are going to go by in no time. By the time that people notice about it, they're already on their way back to Porto. So it takes a lot of time. It takes quite a bit of preparation to get this. Sometimes you get there by doing repetition, by doing the tour once, twice, three times, 50 times, etc., and then fine-tuning some certain elements here and there. Sometimes you have to just go all in and invest a couple of your days into doing your research. So custom tours, you should work a custom tour with your tour guide because he knows how things are going to work. He's going to be, we tour guides, we're going to be the boots on the ground. We're going to be the persons who are going to make the best out of your time. And so don't approach the tours. And I know that you're going to have something to say about this, Lionel, but don't approach the tours by trying to book the tours yourselves and then trying to find a guide that is able to meet your requirements. It's different. It's completely different. And it's almost like um, having the pieces of a puzzle, but you don't know what the final picture is like. And then
Exactly.
I don't know about you, but when I start doing a puzzle, I first like to take a good look at the overall picture to know
Hmm.
how am I going to structure, where are the colored pieces going to be clustered together, etc., etc. So that way I know what is going to be the end result. Makes my life a little bit easier.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much it. So I know you have a little bit of experience in that department, so I feel like I stole all of the limelight tonight,
No, no, no,
Lionel. So
no.
go ahead.
You were you're going great. And it just reminded me of well, something that just well, I experienced very recently. Um, some people want to visit certain places. They book tickets for certain places, some timed. They choose their date and time and convenience, and then they want someone to provide the service. And then you just need to tell them, sorry, you didn't optimize your itinerary because you will be back and forth the way you planned it. What you planned, it's not impossible, but you're just going to waste time and therefore waste money by doing so because you will be kind of running in circles or going back and forth while you could do when you could do certain stuff all in a row and optimize the timing. And the worst thing that I can experience is to get people bringing kind of well, a DIY or DIY kind of a plan, okay? And then we look at the plan and we find several things that don't work or don't make sense because it's just moving back and forth. Recently, and this was not with me, I got to know about well, someone that got a request from an agency to well, come from the Algarve, going to visit well, a city north of Lisbon, and then going for lunch in a city south of Lisbon. Okay, so um, doesn't make sense.
There's
So
actually
these
an
things.
expression for that, which is in English, it's called shoehorning.
Yeah.
Which basically means that you're trying to force something into a space or a situation that it doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily fit, it doesn't naturally fit, either
Exactly.
literally or figuratively. So, yeah, when people approach us with these already preset requests, those pre-made, oh, we already have tickets for this, this, and that at this time, this or that time, and then we start looking at the logistical gymnastics that we have to pull in order
Hmm.
to be able to offer the experience in the way that they have that they have it planned. It's sometimes not very ideal.
Yeah. And this is happening more and more because people read a lot of stuff online. And I sometimes read people, well, posts that people do about their experience in Portugal. Kind of, oh, we had an amazing time in Portugal. We did this and this and this, and then we did this and this and this. And I look at that and I just see you were just running around back and forth and you could have saved time and money by doing it in an efficient way. You already know me, and optimization, optimizing, it's one of my one of my keywords. And you know what? There's some stuff that even well, it's funny, and you know this better than me. I even get more keen into optimization or really getting the things to work in a row or to flow better in a row since I started driving electric because we also have well a few things to plan.
Yeah.
But we try to optimize everything to be just done seamlessly and efficiently, and it's the efficiency that it's going to bring the experience in a seamless way, like you just mentioned, you know. This is really what I advocate. It's before starting to plan whatever, people should reach out to well professionals that know the field, that know how to move around. So the tour guides are the ones that know the things. Like by example, in Sintra, some people try to get an Uber to go from Quinta da Regaleira to the town center. Well, technically, an Uber needs to do 15 kilometers to go around for something that is like a half a kilometer of distance walking. And these are
Well,
the
yeah.
aspects that we know by driving those places often. We know that these logistic challenges do happen, and sometimes even for us, it's hard to track things because some streets or some roads change directions. Very often. Yesterday, I got just to check that, by example, Rua de São João at Porto changed traffic direction once again. But these things are constantly happening. So relying on someone that doesn't drive on the field, doesn't drive on that road, on that street, or doesn't visit that monument week after week, day after day, sometimes the planning it's not gonna work, not gonna go well because what was efficient a few years ago no longer is. And that's what I see. Some people try to, well, plan things according some articles that they've read, somewhere, or they've read, some reviews of someone that was here and had, a supposedly nice experience. But when we kind of dissecate that, we do some dissection to that, and we really check where are the flaws or what was really just a waste of energy. It's an issue. So yeah, for all the tours, there's a big preparation. And as you said, your tours flow seamlessly because you've been doing them over and over. And even if you are not doing them over and over, you go back on the field and you get to do some research. I will be here not. I will be here in the next few weeks with a day. Then I'm going to do some more research because there's a few other things I want to do some research. So I'm going to take advantage of some logistics that I have to help me be here in another day, just moving around. And that's what we do. And this takes time. This, of course, consumes time, consumes some investment as well. But that's the way we manage to provide the best possible to everyone that trusts us. And this is really where we are at the custom tours, because the cookie cutters doing the same old same day after day after day. At least for me, it ends up becoming a little bit. I would not call it boring, but I'm not a big fan of routines of day after day. So I like always to add something different, to do something well, add this or that depending on what's possible, what the guests requested. So we really need to commit into that. But of course, this is an investment, and it's an investment from both parts. It's an investment from our side to provide the best, but it's also an investment for those that trust our work and they really want to invest to have a different experience. So while or when planning to book a tour or to hire a tour guide, whatever, the most important is to know what makes the difference or what you really expect or what you really want. So going back to the beginning of our life, people really need to first ask themselves, uh, what's their budget, what they expect, what they really want, and then decide what is the best fit for them. Because there are many, many options in the market, and they are not comparable. They are not comparable at all. I can give you an example, okay? Uh, well, everybody knows what I drive around, and sometimes I stop near, other groups from other companies, and they might be having a great day. But sometimes I feel that people look, oh, that would be the cool vehicle for us to be on a tour, by example. Of course, this requires, some investment. But sometimes I feel that, okay, that people would like to have had that experience. Well, they probably never got uh, to know about my company, my business. The same has happened to you, well, many times for sure, and probably still
Yep.
happens nowadays. So the thing is, we try to make the difference in several aspects, but it's a customer side to decide. Are they really willing to to commit into that difference or not? But we are here to help. We are here to make our best and to make the difference. So
Yep.
this is really my kind of way to see these things, and it seems that I'm doing something right because being quite busy, being really having a great time of the year. But yeah, people really need first to decide what they want, what they expect, and then search for what fits the best because we can't compare things. And
And if they don't know, talk to someone.
exactly,
Right
okay.
now it's low season for us right now, so I've been
Hmm.
fortunate to spend a little bit more time at home as of late, especially family time and whatnot. But that doesn't mean that I'm just twiddling my thumbs and just lying around. Sure, some extra relaxing time is much more welcome nowadays, obviously. But yeah, I have time on my hands. I don't mind helping out people. I don't mind when people reach out to me, send me a text, say, look, I'm interested in tours, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to see. And okay, let's go from there. I love the blank slate approach, and I have said this many times. When people come to me and they know that they wanted to, well, if they have a very small idea of what they wanted to see, but people usually they know themselves, they know what motivates them, and for me that is the best thing to do. That is the
Hmm.
start off with as a blank canvas basically, and let's make a Portuguese experience that no one else is going to have, because this one is one that is very common, and we see it posted online a lot of times, which is, well, I wanted to go to the Douro Valley, but I'm not very interested in wine. So,
I've
misconception.
done many scenic tours of the Douro Valley without
Scenic, cultural,
scenic without a
you
single
name
drop
it.
of
Yeah,
wine. And
yeah.
I know that this sometimes might sound a little bit hard from my side, and I know you do a great tour. But a lot of people just imagine that okay, the only thing to do in the Douro Valley is to drink wine. It is not, and I'm not the biggest fan of more than one winery a day, or two tops, because there's more to see in the valley. Okay, but a lot of people just ask how many wineries are included. So those people don't want to come and try wines; they just want to come and find an excuse to drink wine, without I would say restrictions. But I'm not the biggest fan of that because the Douro Valley has so much to offer, has a culture, history, landscape. That is what
Nature,
I feel it's
hiking, kayaking,
yeah, exactly.
archaeological
But
vestiges, churches, medieval
oh yeah,
towns.
and what I feel it's really that people just rush through the Douro Valley. They think they had a great day, but they missed the whole point. Um, just I can give you an example. Today I drove in a road that normally I don't do, okay? Because, due to the nature of the tour, I took the road that comes, from Régua, parallel to the highway, but not the National 2, okay? Because I was heading towards Provenzende. So, well, I came to a totally off beaten path to, well, see beautiful, beautiful scenery, and I like that road. I've driven that road a few times. But well, we had the opportunity to stop along the road to see people pruning the vines, those kind of things. That requires time, but also requires, well, commitment from people to really allow time for that to happen. And well, yes, just when people come and want to rush through well many locations at a time that have well fixed timings, they end up missing a lot of that. So this is my point. In sometimes
Yeah.
it's less is more, and we have our colleague that says that a lot. But yes, it's really my point. It's really to relax and to enjoy and to observe, and to have time to allow you to just stop instead of 5 minutes, sometimes 15 or 20, because you can't stop for 15 or 20 minutes because you have time for that. Um, and often tell a story. Once I was in a place that they were having a funeral, and I was kind of the first car on the row in front. The traffic was stopped, and several guides from other companies were kind of well stressing out because they were stuck in traffic and they had well stuff booked at a specific time and they needed to rush around to get to that specific time. So if a tour also doesn't have a little bit of a margin of error for well unforeseen circumstances, well, that's the first step for something at the end of the day to not be as great as it should have been. So we really need, as custom tour providers, we really need to have time for this, well, little extra situations that sometimes happen, or more than often to have just that extra time for us to be sitting and relaxing in a certain place because it's being great and it's being really enjoyable. So that's really my point that rushing around normally doesn't pay off, and planning needs to be done by someone that really knows the nooks and crannies and the field like the back of his hands, because things do really change very very often. Well,
You're
final thoughts.
you're kind of reminding me one of the moments that I had on one of these custom tours that I did. Having time to relax, that's what traveling is all about. And I'm recalling this moment where I hosted a couple. I know that you had them too, Lionel. We were down in the Alqueva. We were in Monserrat, near Monserrat. We were
Mhm.
actually down by the lake. And it was actually one of the first things that we did that day. We started off in Évora just to it was one of the things that they were very interested in seeing. They had just walked around Évora the day before. They didn't need a guided tour, but they were very happy to just, that was their pace, that was their style, just walking around, seeing a couple of things here and there. But we went back to Évora the following day to see the Chapel of Bones because we hadn't seen,
Okay.
and they hadn't seen that one. And then we basically took off and we went directly to the Alqueva Lake, to Monserrat. And that gave us 15 minutes over there at the lake. You know what they did? First thing that they did when they saw the lake, we arrived to the Alqueva beach,
Hmm.
to the Monserrat beach. They
Yeah.
took their shoes off and they just stood there, feet in the water for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And that is a
And
memory that they probably will have, and that I have as well, of being able to provide a great experience for them.
mhm.
So yeah, just sometimes it's all it takes. Sometimes it's not about the location, it's about the feeling. And
Yes.
it's one of those things that people forget. It's not ticking things out of the box. It's about you. It's how did this experience made you feel? And I
Yeah.
hope that with this little bit of experience, just being over there, beginning of October, dipping your toes in the water of the Alkiva Lake, and just having all of that beautiful panorama, beautiful lake in front of us, um, just watching around, just seeing the little fish, just skimming the shoreline and whatnot. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Obviously, we did Monserrat. Obviously, we also went to the Crom Lake over there,
Hmm.
the famous one, the Shiraz one. So yeah, we
Yeah.
did a lot of things, and these are things that it's interesting, but not a lot of people talk about it.
Yes, indeed.
But
And
it's a
sometimes,
completely
yeah, well,
yeah,
just I usually say that, well, experience it's what you will remember, independently of what you booked. It's the experience that you're gonna remember. And what we really
mm,
want is people to remember good experiences. So that's why
yeah.
we work hard onto this. And yeah,
The biggest
it's
compliment that
totally
I
totally
have,
true.
yeah, the biggest compliment that I have is I've been running tours for almost 8 years now, and sometimes I still have people who reach out to me, and I was referred by one of their friends that did a tour with me 5 or 6 years ago. So
Hmm.
if they remember me after 5 or 6 years, that's a very good sign, I would say.
Exactly. Yes, indeed. And uh, it's really for that we work hard and we put a lot of effort and we try really people to have people that really understand the difference. And well, of course, we cannot please everybody. We might not fit everybody's budget. We sometimes can't fit everybody's schedule because we are busy. But at least we are here to help. And I say this countless times. What I really want, it's independently of the people booking tours with me or not. What I really want, it's people to go back home and tell their friends how great Portugal was and how great was their experience in here. Because I do feel that a lot of people go back home and they don't say the best things of Portugal because they didn't get a great experience. But sometimes it's not our fault or Portugal's fault. It's just, well, bad planning. And I know you have a very, well, common expression about that. But in fact, I feel that sometimes people don't get the better experience because of bad planning. And good planning, it's what makes everything worthy and to work flawlessly or seamlessly.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people really don't even feel or understand when we need to have a plan B or when we need to kind of roll our sleeves up and put the plan B in place without really telling that that is the plan B. And I know that, well, sometimes it happens to you, to me, it happens sometimes as well. But we need always to have something on the sleeve for plan B. And those things happen, and people just don't notice that those things are happening. And we make it feel that, okay, that was part of the day, that was part of the plan, but it just happened because it needed to do. And
yeah.
that's what, well, the experience or the expertise we have allows us to do. So we try our best that way.
Yeah.
Uh,
My
Well,
biggest advice right now is just telling people start planning your tours because we know that you're stressed about booking flights, you're stressed about booking hotels, places to stay, but also don't neglect the experiences because they're going to be the heart and the soul of what you're going to see and what you're going to do over here. And have a different approach about it. Don't wait for the last minute to book a tour. And if you still have plenty of time and you're still on the early phases of your planning, don't be afraid to reach out to a few guides. Can be us, can be someone else, someone that you heard about. That there are experts in their own respective areas. It's totally fair, but work with them, and I think that you'll find. Even before you get to Portugal, you're going to find a little bit of that very warm and typical Portuguese hospitality. And just having this conversation, just asking some key questions and getting some answers from a local, I've also hosted a couple of weeks ago two ladies uh, because we booked just a video call and I wanted to learn a little bit more about them, what was their motivation, and they were super chill about it because they were already in their late 60s, I want to say, and they were not used to this was going to be their first time to Portugal, and they didn't have a clue about what to see, what to do over here in Portugal. And by having just quick back and forth, 30, 40 minutes, it saved them probably potentially 2 weeks worth of research by themselves. So yeah,
yeah,
I think it's worth it to reach out to someone. Hey, I'm interested in this, or that. Can you point me in the general direction of what I want to see? What you recommend? Is this doable, etc.? A lot of people um, post online. That's a good thing. They get advice from people who work here, from tour guides and whatnot, but step it up to the next level. Don't be afraid to reach out to a person that you deem as trustworthy and have that person help you out for a little bit. And then, well, we are not the know-it-all and all, but we can point you in the general direction of something
Mhm.
that can potentially become a great experience for you. That's it.
Yeah, and that's why, I've been already talking about hosting those free calls on my website. You've been doing the same.
Hmm.
Um, Independently of what people will end up booking, what we really want is people to have, a kind of some pointers, some wise advice, because once again, bad planning will end up, ruining the experience, and sometimes there are just a few issues that people don't assess. Okay, and um, well, knowing the field as we know, we need to tell them, be well, if you go there at this time of the day, you're not going to be able to enjoy this or that, or it will be busy, or it will be crowded. You will be stuck in traffic, or at that time of the day, there's already no longer tickets available, so it's impossible for you to see it. Like something I wrote a few weeks ago about a couple that I found. They were thinking that they were going to see the library in Coimbra, but no tickets for that day already. And they had been, wrongly advised to go there and buy your tickets and go right in. So these little
Hmm.
things do happen. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I see them more and more commonly happening just because people are not getting the correct advice.
Yeah, one final example that I had very recently. You're gonna have these persons as well. They've reached out to me again. They've been in Portugal twice already before. The first time it was with me. Second time,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I wasn't able to be with them, but I'm gonna meet them again next year. And
Mm-hmm.
this time around, they wanted to see it was Fatima and Tumar. And so I was thinking that, okay, Fatima Tamar, it's doable, it's close by, especially when coming down from Porto. But one of the tweaks that I will be doing to the itinerary is instead of doing Fatima and then Tamar, I think I'll be doing Tamar first and then Fatima. Because in terms of logistics, it makes a little bit more sense for me. But not only
Mm-hmm.
that, is that they wanted to come back to Porto at the end of the day and then drive down to
Okay.
Lisbon the following day. And then I told them that doesn't make a whole lot of sense if I'm being honest over here, because Fatima to Porto it's a 2 hour drive, and Fatima to
Mhm.
Lisbon it's a little bit over 1 hour. Since
Yeah,
so
1 hour 15-ish. Yeah.
yeah, you'll already be very close to Lisbon. Might as well end the day down in Lisbon, and then that frees you up the next day because that way
Hmm.
you're not wasting 2 hours to go from Fatima to Lisbon, sorry, 2 hours to go to from Fatima to Porto on the day that they will
Hmm.
be with me, and then spend another 3.5 hours to go from Porto to Lisbon the
Yeah.
following day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something as simple as that, something as simple as that can make a world of difference. I just bought them 5 hours during their vacation.
And you already know the article I wrote several months ago about how much every hour
Yeah.
costs or how much every day costs, and a lot of people don't do the math that way. But optimization it's really the key word, and that makes total sense what you just mentioned. And in fact, a lot of people just seem to forget that they try to save money in a certain way, but it's going to cost them more money by the time they waste. And that is really something that I see happening over and over and over. And I just mentioned earlier, I see sometimes people posting reviews about the time they had in Portugal. That was great. And I look at what they did, and you just feel, yeah, you just wasted time here, wasted time there. That ended up costing you money because you tried to do this as a lot of people do, but you could have optimized this and this, and you would have had more time for a few more things, and even had spent probably the same amount of money, but it would have freed more time um,
Yep.
for other stuff, for other experiences. Okay, well, I just want to thank you for joining once again in another live. We've been trying to solve the technical issues. Just for everybody watching, also thank you very much for joining us. And today, well, I will be posting this on YouTube. So I'm out of home, but I have my laptop, and I'm gonna post this on YouTube as usual. And well, I'm hopefully I will be back next week. Although I will be on the road next week. I'm driving to Porto, but well, I'll try to sort it out to come on live. It seems like it's only my phone that likes to
Yeah.
start these Facebook lives now. So while it works, we'll try our best, and then we need really to find well some other technical solutions. We are working on that, but still not 100% well set up. So thank you, Sergio. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank
watching.
you,
And
Lionel.
well, we'll be back next week. So see you.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.
Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you.